Today we're checking out the new Redmi Pad 2 9.7, which is a smaller version of the Redmi Pad 2. Pricing is around $150 or less depending on which version you get. I've got the version with 128 gigabytes of storage, but there's also a 64 gigabyte version as well. It also takes a micro SD card to expand the storage. I believe it comes in two different colors and weighs in at just over 400 grams. Actually comes with a charger and cable, surprisingly. I believe there's also a SIM card version, depending on where you're located. Definitely feels a little more compact at this size. If you have large enough hands, you could even use this one-handed. It has a 9.7 inch IPS LCD display, a 1280 by 2048 resolution, and up to 120 Hz refresh rate. Also at 500 nits brightness and 600 nits peak brightness. Comes with Android 16, HyperOS 3. When setting up, this also has Face Unlock. It also has Gemini as the assistant. Looks like it's on gestures by default, but obviously you can change that later in the settings. I don't always like the wallpapers on the Redmi tablets, but this one actually looks pretty good. Surprisingly, this tablet gets 5 years of software updates and 7 years of security updates, which is kind of crazy for an entry-level tablet. If true, this is one of the longest that I've seen for software support for Redmi tablets, so that's really good to see. Looks like there is a security update for May 2026, so that's good to see. Looks like it's on 60 Hz refresh rate by default, but you can change it to 90 or 120. It also has some extras like raise to wake, double tap the screen to wake, double tap the lock screen to sleep, wake the lock screen for notifications. You've got smart cover mode, and double press the volume button down to open up the camera as well. Looks like it's using almost 22 gigabytes of the 128 available. I feel like that's pretty typical. You've got Google Discover newsfeed left of the home screen, notifications there at the top, quick panel settings up in the right hand corner with all your shortcuts. You do have a few extras like calculator, cast, dark mode, reading mode, TV remote, and so on. If you swipe up, it goes to a search. It does put all of your apps on the home screen, but you can switch that over to with app drawer if you prefer that instead. It is kind of weird how 9.7 inches is considered a more compact size now. I think screen quality on here actually looks pretty good in person. You can go up to 1080p resolution for YouTube videos. It's got good contrast, pretty good viewing angles as well. Nice thing is this is Widevine L1, which is good for streaming apps like Netflix. It does have split screen and floating windows on here as well. Kind of moving a little more sluggish, but I think it's because it's doing an update in the background. But I feel like once you get everything installed and downloaded, it's actually not that bad. I would just be a little concerned because more than likely it will slow down over time with only 4 gigabytes of RAM. It's got a Snapdragon 6S 4G Gen 2 processor, but one downside to this smaller tablet is it only has 4 gigabytes of RAM, and that's with both storage options, so pretty low for 2026 in my opinion. Not going to be a big surprise, but you can see this is definitely entry-level performance by looking at the benchmark results, and pretty low GPU performance as well. It should have enough power to do most basic things and to do some light gaming on as well. I think as long as you know that going in, it's just going to take things a little bit longer to load compared to some of the more expensive tablets out there. But I do think this smaller size is definitely more comfortable to hold, especially when gaming. It's just a little easier to reach things on the screen. It's got a 7,600 milliamp hour battery with 18 watt charging. I also ran my typical battery drain test at 100% screen brightness, and this one lasted about 6.5 hours. So not quite as good as the larger Redmi Pad 2, but should last long enough for a couple days with normal use, even longer if you turn the screen brightness down. Surprisingly, it has a headphone jack, which is something even Walmart isn't doing anymore with their budget tablets. Surprisingly, even though they're just one speaker on each side, this thing's actually much louder than I was expecting, even when turned all the way up. Here's a quick sample just to give you an idea of what it sounds like. It's got an 8 megapixel camera on the back, 5 megapixel on the front. In the camera app, you've got Pro, Night, Photo, Video, and Documents. You can shoot up to 1080p resolution for video recording. Just a quick glance at photos, actually looks pretty decent on here. Here's a few quick samples just to give you an idea of what to expect on the new Redmi Pad 2 9.7. I think build quality is actually pretty good on this tablet. Screen quality is good as well. It actually has a lot of good things going for it. I just think it needs a little better than 4 gigabytes of RAM. There's definitely times when you can see it slow down. I just think it needs a little better performance overall. But I guess that's sort of what to expect for a tablet in this category. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. If you like tablets, phones, and other tech, I've got a lot more stuff that I'm working on as usual. So you'll want to keep an eye out for those upcoming videos. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from FishBee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.